The truth about New Year's Day. It seems like an innocent celebration, but let's go into the history of the celebration. Celebrating the New Year was a pagan custom associated with ancient sun worship that was observed well over 2,000 years before the birth of Yahushua. These New Year festivities in Babylon eventually found their way to Greece, and from there they migrated to Rome, where the celebration was called Saturnalia. The holiday was observed as a time of reveling, drinking, and orgies. Finally, these drunken celebrations led to human sacrifice. Sun worshiping, the reason New Year's Day was changed from spring, according to the Bible, to the dead of the winter, January. The Romans went through several versions of calendars in which they inevitably changed the first day of the year to January 1st. Caesar also adopted January 1st as the first day of the new year. The Julian calendar became the basis for our current calendar. New Year's symbols. Celebrating the new year is grounded in paganism, ungodly behavior, and idol worship. The modern celebration of New Year's Day carries on ancient traditions. The holiday itself is celebrated from New Year's Eve in the old year, continued on through New Year's Day. Janus, the god of beginning and endings. Certain Roman traditions of the new year have remained to this day. Among the many Roman gods was Janus. In Roman mythology, Janus was the god of gates, doors, doorways, beginnings, and endings. Numa, the second king of Rome, in the regulation of the Roman calendar, called the first month Janus, after Janus. At the time, he was the highest divinity. Janus was usually depicted with two heads looking in opposite directions. According to a legend, he had received from the god of Saturn. In reward for the hospitality, received the gift to see both future and past. He was frequently used to symbolize change and transition, such as the progression of past to future. The New Year's baby. The New Year's baby is no less than a symbol of Dionysus, a Greek god of wine. It was in his honor that the Greeks held the festival of wine press in January. More than any other holiday, New Year's Day holds the record for the most alcohol consumed in any one day. As sophisticated as we might think our society is in our modern age, we are still worshiping the god of alcohol. The symbol of a baby for the new year was common in pagan practice. The custom of the time was to parade a newborn baby around in a basket. The baby was a symbol and a herald for fertility of the crops. The Catholic Church disallowed it for centuries. Eventually, these religious leaders gave in to the pressure, allowing infants to be used during celebrations that took place during this time of year, but with one adjustment. The New Year baby was transformed into the baby of Bethlehem, a symbol of Christ. Father Time. Another symbol of the New Year's Day is known as Father Time. This white-haired man carrying a scythe is a prominent figure at this time of year. He is playfully displayed with an hourglass or a clock and symbolizes the passing of life and time from one year to the next. In reality, this quaint character is actually another Greek god known as Cronos. It is from his name that we get the word chronograph, related to the measurement of time. Cronos came to be known as the Grim Reaper. Originally, Cronos was thought to only reap little children in a mythical kind of cannibalism. Later, this became a Greek rite of human sacrifice that was adopted by the early Romans, who also sacrificed humans during the Saturnalia. Today, our modern images of the Grim Reaper and Father Time still contain elements of their ancient past found in Cronos. What does the scriptures have to say? Exodus 21:3, And God spake all these words, saying, I am the Lord thy God, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. As we have learned, there are many false gods involved with the observance of New Year's Day. When is it a new day and a new year according to Yahweh? The shocking truth is that we do not celebrate this day because it is the beginning of the year. This is evident in the simple fact that we celebrate the new year in the dead of winter at midnight. Yahweh tells us that the beginning of the year is to take place in the spring. If you read Exodus 12, 1-2, and the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, This month shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year to you. The next day, according to the Bible, is not at midnight in the evening. Genesis 1:5, and God called the light day, and the darkness he called night, and the evening and the morning were the first day. The day ends when the sun sets in the evening, and the next day begins at this same time. Isaiah 46:9, remember the former things of old, for I am Yahweh, and there is none else. I am Yahweh, and there is none like me. Declare the end from the beginning, and from ancient times the things that are not yet done, saying, My counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. In the context of this truth, consider that night and midnight have long been associated with chaos, the underworld, sorcery, and death. Night's attributes were believed to provide a veil for evil. Therefore, all acts of sorcery and witchcraft were thought best be performed at midnight. By observing midnight as the next day, mankind once again rejected Yahweh's authority. We have disregarded his designated time of sunset to mark the day's transition, and have instead chosen the middle of the night, which doesn't even make sense, people. Keep Yahweh's commandments. Observe his holy days, not this world's holidays, which are not holy. All of the holidays have associations and history of pagan gods. Do your research. New Year's Day is just one of them.